Hey everybody, I hope that you are all doing well. We are starting the reading off with Page of Wands, and we also have Eight of Pentacles here. This is feeling like working on something that you care about. This doesn't feel like something that's just getting started, having the Eight of Pentacles there. So this is something that you've already been investing in, already putting like consistent energy into this. So I'm seeing you be on a path that you want to be on, working on things, feeling good about that. By the time the Eight of Pentacles is coming out, it can mean that like maybe you're feeling like you're starting to master something that you've been working on. Like maybe there's something about like being in this particular path where you're like, I feel like I'm getting good at this, or I feel like I don't have to think so much when I'm doing this. Eight of Pentacles can be a card that's connected with like being in a flow state where you've already learned like the basics and like intermediate skills that are associated with this thing that you have going on, and now you can just kind of like be in the flow of doing your thing here. And I definitely say that the passion is still alive, having a Page of Wands be there. We also have Knight of Wands, so this is one of those things where it feels good to be doing. Maybe you have some other stuff that you want to do. You know, the way that this is seeming to me is like you have something that you're working on that you're interested in working on, and you have like every intent to continue doing that. Having Knight of Wands can be maybe like something else that has caught your attention that you want to invest in, but you want to do both at the same time. So that can be something that you're doing. Like maybe something's popping up and you're like, I want to give some of my energy to that too. How do I do both simultaneously? We got some multitasking going on here. I think that it can be done. You're just gonna have to be deliberate in the way that you do this, but I'm seeing everything look like it can really work and kind of collaborate well together. If something is popping up and wanting you to interface with it, it feels like it's important that you're listening to that. I'm seeing Nine of Cups be connected with Seven of Pentacles. So whatever this is that's popping up, I'd say that this is definitely something that you want to participate in as well. And it can feel like actually it's going to end up all tying in together. So I'm not seeing this be anything that needs to be dismissed. It feels like you're where you want to be, working on what you want to be working on, that things are moving forward, that you can really be seeing progress being made here. I'm seeing a lot of excitement over what it is that you're doing. Maybe sometimes it takes that, like maybe sometimes it takes passion, it takes bravery, it takes not giving up, it takes, you know, when you're like, you're facing something and you're just determined and maybe like naive enough to think that something can really work. I feel like that type of energy is going to be helpful, because Knight of Wands, if any of the knights are one that's going to like accomplish the impossible, I feel like the Knight of Wands is the one. And so having something that you're working on here with Page of Wands can be this thing that like you feel passionate about this and you really want to make it work, but Nine of Wands can indicate that there are a lot of challenges that come with this. Knight of Wands is that part of you that's like, I'm not giving up on my dream, or I'm not giving up on my passion. I don't want to let this go. This is something that I really want to do and I really want to see it through. And it's just that little spark of ambition. It's that spark of, I don't know enough to think that this isn't going to work out, that ends up being the key to making this process work in the first place. Makes the impossible possible. And which ultimately leads to the necessary breakthrough. But I do get some stuff going on that it has you like really having to be adaptable here, and really having to it's like you're traveling on this winding path and it is winding constantly, and you have to adapt, like at this turn and that curve over there, and then it has you spinning around. There's a lot of maneuvering and movement and like shifting of the weight that has to happen if you're going to be doing this thing, if you're going to continue doing this thing that you have going on. But it feels like it's worth it. And this can also be teaching you some more like instant skills is the way that this is coming through. Like this is feeling more, Two of Pentacles is giving me like a Gemini third house type of vibe, and that can be associated with more like practical stuff that's connected with this, or more like hands-on stuff where it's more like the tactile functioning of things and making that work. Rather than it being something more like lofty or philosophical, these can be like the actual hands-on skills that are needed in order for you to do this, but like on a smaller scale, where these little skills that add up, or these little adaptations, they're very important, but it's what allows like the whole thing to work. Yeah, I'm getting this thing again about like a Gemini third house type of vibe. And this house is connected with like the difference. So Gemini and Sagittarius, they're sister signs, which means they oppose one another. The difference between Gemini energy and Sagittarius energy, both of them are about learning and teaching. But when there's a focus on that, like Gemini third house stuff, it's this like practical, like this is how you tie a shoelace. Like you take these two in your hands and then you cross them over. It's like that type of stuff. Where the Sagittarian type of teaching will be about like why the shoe needs to be tied in the first place and how that connects with that, and then makes the whole outfit and then helps you with your traveling. It's like these sorts of things that are more like lofty and understanding. Like even Sagittarian energy can be like, why choose one type of tie versus a different type of tie? You know, it's like that sort of thing where there's something like bigger, sometimes even dogmatic, that's introduced in. When we're talking about Gemini, it's just like the actual skill that we need to be doing. So yeah, and why I'm bringing that up is just this vibe that I'm getting off of the Two of Pentacles, which Two of Pentacles is associated with, who is the first earth sign? Taurus. And Taurus can be connected with this as well, just the salt of the earth energy of how we are going to get something done, how we're going to acquire these goals, accomplish these goals that we want to accomplish. And it can be by these smaller movements that are going to add up to something bigger that we have to do. But I get, in order for you to do this, you have to be adaptable. And this can be like everyday changing, everyday switching. Like I'm reading this, I'm looking at that, I'm gauging what I need to be doing here. So there's this constant adapting that has to be done in order for this to all be kept together. So yeah, this doesn't feel like I'm out there trying to find my like bigger purpose within this. This feels like you found something really genuine that you feel connected with. You want to be part of it. It's something that you feel this soul tie to. And having Two of Pentacles can just be this smaller everyday ways that you need to adapt in order to keep going. I'm seeing so much work that you've put in. I'm seeing this be something that you feel like very happy to be doing. And I'm also seeing too that this part of you that maybe, I don't know, like Gemini has to be detail oriented, so there can be something about that, like making sure that you're using your force in the right way, like using your energy in the right way. Because for those of you that you may like get burnt out kind of easily, or like lose your motivation easily, that can be something here too, that maybe you're learning how to tap into and channel it in a way that is beneficial. Because maybe your energy comes in spurts too, that can be connected with the energy. But also the Knights are connected with mutable energy, and mutable is kind of like synonymous with adaptive behavior. So maybe there's a lot of adaptation that's needed. Just like if you're like driving a car, or if you're riding a bike, or you're riding on a horse, you have to like pull the reins, you know, you have to turn the wheel this way, that way. How much gas am I stepping on the brakes right now? So there can be a lot of this, like a lot of adjustments that have to be made. But overall, I'm seeing this be like, if you keep working on this, everything is going to work out. Now, Page of Wands can be many different things. Page of Wands can be like a relationship. It can be a project. It can be anything that you would feel interested in doing and connecting with that you're currently working on. So this can be like the thing going on in your life that you feel excited about right now. I feel like that about sums it up. And that in order to move forward, this kind of feels like some days this is the going in this direction moves you forward. Other days that will be the thing that moves you backwards and is regressive. So there's something about that part of the process where like every day what's going to push things forward and what's going to allow things to move in the direction that you want, it may change. So there's like something about that, like what works today may not work tomorrow, and what works tomorrow may not be the thing that works today. And there's something about that like constant evolving in order to stay like in the like desired flow movement trajectory of this. And I think that can be something that you're learning how to get good at too. Like this isn't just the same thing day in and day out. This is the energy needed to participate in this is adaptable, but it's like the motivation is there to be doing this. So I don't think it's like hard to learn how to be adaptable, even if it's like not your forte. It's like if you want to be working on this and it means that much to you, it's worth putting in all of the effort that it requires. And I'm seeing something that feels very crystal clear to you, like this is really it. This is your thing right now. And having Two of Cups on the bottom of the deck just feels like a sign reinforcing that this really is your thing right now. It's really important, and this is the thing that you're connected with. And this is the thing that you have union with. You know, rather than it being an energy where it's like you're disconnected from yourself and you're over here doing this, this is more so like from a place of deep inner connection. This is your thing. And that this is the way that you focus on what holds most meaning and importance to you. This is you prioritizing your ideals, your dreams, your wants, and this is the way that you secure that. And it asks for consistency. It asks for you to continuously every day invest in this, but it feels overall the only challenge about this is like adapting to the different waves of this, because this doesn't feel like something stationary. This can be something every day you have to like figure out. You know how babies can have different cries and like sometimes they want to be changed or they're hungry or they're tired, whatever. This thing that you're working on, it has different cries, and you have to figure out like what do I need to give you for you to be like most optimal. So I think that's something that kind of keeps you on your toes, and that it's worth it because this is something that you care about. And that the fierce, passionate way that you are involved in this is a lot of the juice behind why it's working. And for some of you, this can even be a situation where it's like many others may look at this and deem it as being impossible, but it's not for you because of the heart that is involved in this. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting and tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.